Hey, everybody, welcome to USA Wrestling's Moments Off the Mat. My name's Mike Clayton, and I'm your National Coaches Education Program Manager. And today we've got a special treat for you. Our Cahoots Challenge Block game will be Team Indiana versus Team Pennsylvania. So, Zach Arrett, thanks very much for getting ready to start the game.
Hey, great. Welcome to everybody that's here. So to get started, we're all at Kahoot.it, but just as we go through kind of the rules of the game, there'll be a total of 7 questions. The first 4 questions, I would say, are relatively easier scoring situations. You'll have to select the correct answer based on the provided ones, and you get points for getting it correct, and then you get more points the faster you answer it. So you do have to get it correct to get points, and the quicker you can click the button, the more points you'll get for your team. After the first 4 rounds, we will take the first 4 rounds, we'll take the top 4 individuals and move on to the semifinal rounds, where we'll have 2 videos. Those videos will be a little bit more complicated situations. After those 2 rounds, we will then cut it down to 2 for the finals. And in the final, you will have to select, there'll be no selection of answer. I'll play the video, and then you'll have to score it and write down your answer. And then you'll have to wager how many points you're going to do. And then once the video is done, we'll give you a little bit of time, and then you'll show the result, and then we'll determine the winner from there. All right, first question. Majority of you got this one right. So why do we score 2 blue here?
So guys, if you never played this before, turn your microphones on and talk and tell your thoughts.
Yeah, so anybody got that one right? If you want to share, why did you score this as?
So
who initiated that action?
Yeah, no exposure yet, and red doesn't get exposure with blue on this pull. This is all blue's action from his butt to get exposure.
All right, yeah, absolutely. I think the one thing from a referee standpoint, I know when we look at this is when blue hooks that elbow, that looks clearly like that's going to be blue's action at that point. So, yep, 2 blue. All right, there's the leaderboard. All right, next question. All right, good job.
Ran out of time.
Now they'll score on who hit the fastest, right?
Yeah, it is. The points are based on that. So we scored 2 red. So somebody else that scored 2 red. Why'd you score 2 red?
I mean, definitely blue obviously acted, but red changed direction was kind of where my first thoughts.
So yeah, here's the video again. This might be the best way for me to show it. Like for whatever reason on the system, it's not coming up. So what did you have here?
I had that belly lock, and then I had blue kind of – his one hand was on the mat. It's really hard to initiate some action without, 2 hands on a leg or something like that. I like this chest lock red has as he extends through and finishes on top.
Excellent. Yeah, agreed. So good job. All right. So this is all based on who scored it the quickest.
Dang.
So,
I thought I hit it pretty quick.
All right, next one. So 2 blue.
God, it'd be lonely to be that red guy.
Thanks.
So somebody that scored 2 blue, what did you see here, and why did you score 2 versus 4?
They were on their knees.
Who was on their knee?
Red.
Bending wrestler.
That's right. Yep. In this case, the defending wrestler was on her knee when the action started. So whenever we look at it, we're always looking at it from the defensive wrestler's position. So even if they're on their feet when they start, but the defensive wrestler's on their knees, it's only going to be parterre to danger, so only 2 points.
Man.
All right. Pretty good. Here we go. Last question in the first 4. So we'll take the top 4.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on,
After
Indiana.
this.
We got to get up here.
Yeah, come here, Carter.
Thomas is holding us.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Next question.
I had to be quick. Had to take a risk and be
That's
quick.
what I did, and I think I messed up.
Well, I think we had to put a lot of points in.
Dang it.
I was too slow on
Yeah,
that.
come here,
I got
Carter.
it.
All right. So 1 blue. So those of you that scored 1 blue, or one of the 4 of you, why did you score 1 blue here?
Well, I didn't see Blue go out, and he looked to be on the attack after Red's attack as Red went out of bounds. Blue looked to be on the attack. I saw Blue re-attack off a Red's shot and Red go out of bounds.
Correct.
Hi, Carter.
Yeah. Yep. In this process, so even though Red's the attacking wrestler, comes up and then ends up going out of bounds first. And if you go out of bounds, you have to score. And Red didn't score. So since Red didn't score, it's going to be 1 point. And he was up and down, like we're going to score that as 1 almost every time, or it should be every time. So, all right. Here are the top 4.
Oh, good job,
Close.
Thomas and Brandon. We're 2-2.
Two versus 2
Indiana,
here
2
by Danny.
PA.
That one was brutal. Glad this doesn't affect the individual tournament.
Yeah. So the next situations will be similar in terms of they'll have point choices for you to pick from, options, but the situations will be a little bit more complicated. So again, I'll play the video and then I'll open the video up in YouTube and then you'll be able to watch it again, and I'll click back for the point score. Top 2 are PA, bottom 2 are Indiana. All right, here we go. For those the person that scored no points and no points, why did you score no points for both actions?
So what I saw was Red attempt a really good throw, but Blue does not expose and lands on his knees. And then Red attempt another throw and Blue lands on his knees. For a correct throw situation, I would be looking for Blue to hit his hip or his stomach, and neither of that criteria was met on either.
Pretty great explanation right there. In that video, both times, Blue never landed on a hip or never landed on a chest. And for it to be considered a correct throw, those are 1 of 2 things that usually have to be met in order to get the correct hold. So this time he cartwheeled out of both of them, and by landing on his knees or his feet, he would not give up 2 points on the correct hold in that process. So that's one thing that referees look for in those situations is meeting that requirement, little loss of control, and then landing on a hip or their chest without danger. Lewis almost has got himself in the finals regardless, but we'll see. All right, next situation. Similar situation here in terms of scoring, more complicated. All right, we already scored it. All right, 4 points for Blue. So why did you guys score 4 versus 2? Because they scored 2 in the video, actually. We'll watch again real quick. So why did you score 4 versus 2? One of the 3.
He landed straight on his butt, and he had seemed to, kind of break an angle there. He didn't necessarily post with his hands, but he didn't land on a hip. He was kind of backwards when he landed. So
Okay.
Should have bellied out.
What's that?
It should have bellied out. They didn't want 4 against him.
Correct. Because here, I'll try to stop it at the right time here. It could be a little tougher because I don't have quite control over where I can, as he goes, right as he hits here, you'll see, like right as he hits, like right there, he hits that elbow, and when he lands on the elbow. So if he doesn't land on that elbow, it's only 2. But because he hits the elbow is considered danger. So he was in the standing position, and he went directly to danger. So in that case, that would be 4. And it's only 4 because he hit that elbow, and it was really quick in that process. Had he not done that, it would have only been 2. And I think they actually scored this 2 around them, and it was kind of a, close, so they didn't challenge it. But it should have been 4 points. All right. Let's see who the top 2 are here. And it stayed. So Lewis and Mr. Evans are the top 2. So Brandon and Thomas, you'll be out for the finals. So pretty much essentially assures a PA victory here without being able to get any more additional points here.
Yes, if you both gamble all your points.
And then I
And
will
lose.
Well, I think per capita, we might have more points per capita in our state.
So the 2 of you that are in the finals, you will have to wager so many points to try to win here at this point. So if you get it right, then obviously we add the points like in a Jeopardy case. But if you don't get it right, then you lose the points. So
Okay, so heading into the finals, obviously with both PA coaches in the finals, Team Indiana is at 12,648 points. 12,648. And Team PA going into the finals is at 13,460.
Oh, yeah. Per capita, we definitely won.
Now, the good news is for PA, since they've got 2 in the finals, if they want to bet a lot of points, they have a chance to really, you could go up, PA could go up to almost 24,000 points. And then that sets the standard for the states. We'll take the top scoring states and we'll create a playoff system. So as Lewis and Evans are getting ready for their bet, you get a chance to determine whether or not you want to try to go for a lot or whether you try to want to be more conservative since you've got the win.
all right, so this last situation, like there's not going to be any point choices. Like you're going to have to watch it and score it directly yourself, and then you'll have to write it down on paper, and then you'll have to show it on your screen, and then we'll go through what the score was. So, and if you get it correct, so you have to figure out your points that you guys want to risk, write that down, and go. I will tell you the final Jeopardy question here is an attack counter attack. So you got to write your wager down on your paper, and then you'll show both at the same time. There's going to be this is a multiple scoring action as well. Again, I'll make sure I show the video twice. Once will probably be on here, and then another time will be probably be on YouTube. You'll get to look at it twice, and there's no time limit, so you don't have to, and it's all based on right or wrong and the points you wager, so there's no clock counting down on it. So here we go. Here it is again. All right, we have to show your points and your answers. So you'll just hold them up to your screen and we'll see what you have.
All right.
4 blue, 2 red, 2 blue, 4 red, 2 blue. We had 500 points and 1 point. So what I will tell you is the answers to both. Lewis, you're close, but still incorrect. So had it as 4 blue, 2 red, and then 1 red out of bounds.
Oh, I wrote it backwards.
So I'll share the screen again. So we'll see that look. So minus 501 points, so PA still wins. So this first part here, that double leg body lock. So, blue attacks, continues to drive. So there's the 4 blue. I think one key part here too is blue is still connected to both legs with the hand. So that's a good indicator that this is 4 blue. And then we get the 2 red there as well. And then blue steps out of bounds at the end. So it ends up being 4 blue. Because we're in this position as they go, as we're wrestling. Let's see if we go back. It's hard to see here. Let's see if I can. And he stepped out right as he went to that part, stepped out of bounds. So now his 2 points isn't going to matter. So it was 4 for the double leg, 2 for the turn, and then 1 more for the step out going out of bounds. So 4, 2, 1.
That action was continuous.
What's that?
That action was continuous after the step out. Call him baloney. Boom, continuous. 2 more blue.
I would have said that, except for like he steps out there.
No, I get it.
There, now we're there.
No.
And now we get out of bounds. So
Stepped out twice. I get it.
yeah.
Oh, no, you know what? I did think that what I saw was right. So I guess I can't even say I wrote it backwards. I did think that red scored exposure and, and then I thought right here was where 2 blue scored.
Okay.
And then I thought they were grounded, so I thought there should be no step out. So that's.
No, it's very acceptable, rationale, I think, behind that when you go through that. Like, those situations are really tough, and it all depends on what you're looking at and what perspective you're looking at it for,
Right.
kind of how and what you're anticipating a little bit. I think that also factors into that. I know that we try to look and what are some key components we can see in situations to indicate that that's 4, or if it's, which 4 is it? And I think one thing that as we went, though I do think red took them over, and it was partially red's action. Blue was on contact, started the action, got the legs, was driving, and never came off the 2 legs until after he was all the way over at that point. So he maintained that lock throughout the course. So typically the higher point value goes to that wrestler. But certainly, I think if you go to Fargo, next year, you're going to see that call 4 blue or 4 red, depending on which mat you're on. So if you're on Lewis's mat, it's going to be 4 blue. So congratulations, PA. So
Good job, Lewis.
Good job, Lewis.
Well done.
Coach Evans, you guys did awesome. Thanks for carrying us. Next time we'll unleash fury, and all 4 of us will be on the podium.
This was a lot of fun.
Playoff bound, baby. Playoff bound.
We want to thank everybody too. We're going to make sure everybody gets a free copy of the Dan Gable Legends Series, Dan Gable University. We'll make sure to get a copy of that, and you'll be able to check that out in your online profile and your membership system.
Woohoo! Thanks, Mike.
Sweet. Thanks, Mike.
Awesome. We
Very
really appreciate
cool.
you guys. Thanks so much to the USWOA for putting all the Cahoots games together, and thanks Zach and Tom for helping us be our expert analysts for our show. And thanks Team PA, and thanks Team Indiana. Got a great group of folks here, and we're all just learning, making ourselves a little better. So thank you so much from all of us at USA Wrestling. Thanks for your time and moments off the mat and the challenge block, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thanks for having us, Coach.
Thank you.
For the playoffs, Tom, in the deck.
Do you have what it takes to test your challenge block skills against the top coaches, athletes, and officials in America?